Hello, my name is Ben Bacon, and I'm here to talk to you about how King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard saved my life. So, why does my life need saving in the first place? Great question. So, pretty much my entire adult life, after I turned probably 18, I've had very serious depression and intrusive thoughts that I just can't get out of my head about pretty negative things, about mainly my self worth and similar things like my purpose or directions that I want to take in my life and things of that nature. I'm not going to get too in depth on exactly those thoughts, but I'm going to move on. And in early 2019, I asked one of my good friends, Robert, to send me over some new music. And Robert and me used to listen to music in high school all the time. We used to listen to projects by Bruno Mars, Kendrick Lamar, Childish Gambino, and Tyler the Creator. So I was expecting him to send over something great. And he sent me over two albums, Nonagon Infinity and Currents by Tame Impala. And now these albums very different from what I have been listening to in the past, but were much needed in my life. I put down those artists and started listening to specifically King Gizzard and Tame Impala from pretty much then on. And whenever I put on Nonagon Infinity specifically, it just blew me away. I was so mind boggled by how much energy that they could have throughout the entire album, where each song would play into the next, and the last one played into the first one, and they kept it going on the entire time. It was fantastic. And the more I dive deeper into the band, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, I just found that it was basically made for me. Everything that I would read inside their lyrics was exactly what I needed to hear, and it really helped me throughout my early years of college. And whenever I would look at their music videos, they would never take anything too seriously and they would have so much fun. And it was such a breath of fresh air from the music that I used to listen to. Although those guys did have fun, it was not as much fun as King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. They just have so much more fun. And slowly started to collect their records. And in the middle of 2019, in the summer, I went over to my local uh, vinyl shop to buy some new records. And lo and behold, the man that owns the store is listening to Fishing for Fishies as soon as I walk in. And he's the perfect man for me to talk to. I go right up to him and start saying, "This album's awesome by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard." And he's telling me all about this band. And I'm so shocked. In my eyes, throughout the majority of me listening to him so far, I just assumed King Gizzard were for people like me, you know, young adults who were lost in the world and needed some guidance. And to see a grown man in his 50s talk so highly about this band, I knew that they were something special, something that I had to continue listening on to. So I bought probably Mind Fuzz and maybe even Nonagon at that point at that store. He didn't have Fishies for sale because he was already spinning it, but he told me about how their new record coming out was Infest the Rat's Nest. And he gave me three posters for that album, which I still have today. Never put them up. I kept them sealed. But I was so appreciative of him. And moving forward, I knew this was a band I'm going to have to listen to for the rest of my life. So, moving forward in my life, I was still directionless, still felt no self worth inside of myself, and couldn't figure out exactly what I wanted to do. And around COVID time, early 2020, I met someone, Kayla, who showed me the River music video for the first time. And I never heard the River before that because it was not on streaming services. So I didn't know to even watch the video. And when she showed me that video, it became my favorite song almost immediately. It was so fantastic. It's everything that I loved about King Gizzard already inside of one song. And I felt like it was made for me. It was so perfect. So After that, I found my favorite song. I listened to it every single day, and I tried to take the lyrics a little literally to the point where I let all my grades slip. I didn't have a job for a year, and fell into an even bigger pit in my life. And that's when, in probably the middle of 2021, after I failed out of college, I moved in with my brother to Zephyr Hills, Florida, and got trapped simping over a girl at a pizza restaurant. And that's when my life plateaued, like I was able to um, have fun with her, but I still couldn't find the direction I needed. I became very complacent in my life, and she didn't really like King Gizzard. She would even tell me to stop listening to King Gizzard. Specifically, whenever I put on Crumbling Castle, she would tell me it's evil devil music and I need to turn it off. And I told her to shut the fuck up and let me play my music because that's what actually makes me happy in my life. And so then I heard in 2022 that they're coming to Florida for the first time. And I was so pumped. They're actually playing 2 shows in Miami. It's only a 4-hour drive for me. I was so pumped. And I bought tickets for my 3 best friends. And I bought a hotel. And I was so pumped to go. And about a week before the concerts, she broke up with me. I was like, screw you. Still going to have so much fun at these concerts. And so that's exactly what I did. I drove all my friends down to Miami. I remember telling them that I want to hear 3 songs at these concerts. I want to hear The River, obviously, it's my favorite song. I want to hear Crumbling Castle because fuck that bitch, and The Dripping Tap, my slowly to become one of my top songs, just because it's just like The River but better, basically. And so I was begging for those 3 songs, and we get there, Miami, night 1, and we go right up to the front. We don't. I've never been to a concert like this. I've went to Bruno Mars, and I was way up in the bleachers. I had no idea what to expect, but all I knew is I wanted to be as close as possible. So I get up there, and I run up to the middle. I try to get as close as possible with all my friends, not knowing what to expect. And whenever they come out, they start to play Self-Immolate, my favorite song from Infested Rat's Nest. As soon as the drums start coming out, this one dude runs right through us and he opens up the pit and everyone's going crazy. And I lose all my friends. All 3 of them that I brought there totally gone. I had no idea where they went, and we just got thrown out of there. And it was fantastic to see that. And I wanted to mosh, so I hopped back in there, but I had no idea what I was doing, and my heart couldn't handle it. I had so much anxiety and nervousness from it that I had to leave after like the 3rd song of being inside there, for a good reason. I should probably stay out of the mosh at that moment in my life, but I just sat there and I had my face melted by this band for the next hour and a half. And during that time, I was thinking about my ex pretty much the entire time. And that was probably really bad for me to be doing that, but it was all I could think about. She just broke up with me, and I wasn't really getting connected with the music, but whatever. I still had what I said was the best concert of my entire life. I absolutely loved that concert. And after that concert, my ears hurt so bad. But I told all my friends I took it was the best concert of my life. I don't care that they didn't play The River, Crumbling Castle, or The Dripping Tap. I don't care about that. It was still the best concert ever. And as we get ready for the next day, I remember telling them, it doesn't matter if they play those songs. I don't care about that anymore. I already got the best concert of my life. I just want to go in here and see another one of them. And they go in there, and I buy a poster for the concert, and I'm holding on to the poster the entire time. I'm just standing still, getting my face melted for the first hour until they play The River. And whenever they start playing The River, my friend Dalton, right next to me, who I brought there. He was like, "This is the first song you showed me. Thank you so much, Ben, for bringing me here." And he pulls out a joint, and we smoked the joint, and it was such an incredible experience. And they played that song for like 20 minutes straight. The River's already a 10-minute song, so whenever they played it for 20 minutes, it blew my mind. To be able to hear that, it was so incredible. I was so happy. I was like, that's it. The concert's over. But then, right after The River, they played Crumbling Castle. I'm getting my mind melted by Crumbling Castle, and it was so incredible to be able to get two of the songs that I asked for. Thank you so much, Stu. And then after Crumbling Castle, they do play Sadie Sorceress, but they close it out with the Dripping Tap. And that's when I knew Stu is inside my head. He is listening to everything that goes in my head. I don't have to ask him to play the songs because he already is going to play the best set list ever whenever I'm there. And the one thing that I remembered from that Dripping Tap specifically, right before they go in, Ambrose is up there screaming, "Oh shit, someone better call the plumber." And I think about that every single day. And I laughed about that as it was happening, and I laughed about it the next day and the next day and the next day, and I still laugh about it today. I always bring that up whenever I see those guys. And it was so incredible. I loved it so much. It was 10 times better than the first night, which I already thought was the best concert. So I was really, really sucked in, obsessed, as some might say. And I was begging my friends to go on to more concerts on this tour. But the only concert that was close enough for me to reasonably go to was all the way out in Atlanta. It was an 8-hour drive for me. And none of them were about it. So I drove 8 hours in the October 2022, October 26th. I drove by myself 8 hours to go see that concert. And it was Stu's birthday. I was so happy to be there. I remember getting in there, trying to make some friends in the crowd, trying to get to my spot. And I remember they come out into the stage, and Joey's on the mic. He's like, "Where's Stu at? Where's Stu at?" And Stu's not coming out. And we're all like, "It's his birthday. He's got to come out." And they're just saying that he has diarrhea. Just give him a second. And I'm dying laughing, thinking about Stu having diarrhea. But he comes out on the stage. And he's wearing this disco outfit. We got this big old afro and this funny mustache. And it was so incredible. I had a smile on my face for the entire concert. It was so incredible. That was a defining moment in my life. And after that concert, I remember calling up my older brother Josh. I remember saying to him, "I finally figured it out. I'm going to follow this band for the rest of my life. I'm never going to miss a single King Gizzard concert until the day I die." And that's exactly what I promised to do for the rest of my life. In November, they announced this new tour that I just went on. They announced a residency tour where they're going to 4 cities, playing 3 nights each, and then finally finishing it off at Hollywood for a 3-hour marathon set. And as soon as they went on sale, I bought every single ticket. I bought 2 tickets to each of the concerts because I was thinking at the time I was going to bring a girl with me. And that never happened, but I was able to take my best friend Coulter with me. And Coulter, he's not one of the guys I took to the other concerts, but he is my best friend. And I remember asking him one day, "I can't imagine doing this without you. I love you so much. And he was like, "Of course I'll go on this tour with you." And I was so surprised to hear him say that because he's not a big fan of King Gizzard. He only listens to him casually, just a few songs at that point. And I was so excited to have someone that actually wanted to go with me on this tour. And we went there with so much ambition. We went in there, we're thinking that we're going to record these YouTube videos and upload them every day where we interview people in the lines. And we're going to wear these banana suits and pass out bananas to everyone so the band will see us in our banana suits. And we were really ambitious going in. And which was really good of us to be that ambitious, but I slowly learned that's not who I am. We went into this concert as the Bananas, and we met tons of people there. as the bananas, and the whole time they're like, "Yeah, go bananas!" and they're like shoving us, trying to get us to mosh. But like the mosh isn't where I'm at. I'm not really that type of person. Sometimes I like to mosh, but it's not all the time. And whenever you're wearing banana suits, they want you to mosh the entire time, and I'm just not that person. And I realized on the fourth concert in June, right after my birthday, when I was in there, while they're playing The River of all songs, I was crying my eyes out thinking about who I am. It's not this person that goes around and records people wearing banana suits. I'm Ben Bacon. I'm Ben motherfucking Bacon. And I need to take control of my life. I need to stop thinking about what other people see me as and start thinking about who I am and what I need to be happy. And after I got out of that concert, I remember telling everyone around me that, like, I changed that concert. I transitioned from boy to man. And I'm so grateful for that because now I realize who I am and what I'm on this earth to do. And it's not to see every single King Gizzard concert, it's to be happy and it's to spread smiles because that's what truly makes me happy. Is seeing other people smile. Whenever I see other people smile, it puts a huge smile on my face, and that's what I want to continue to do for the rest of my life. And it's sometimes it's gonna be me wearing a banana suit at a King Gizzard concert, but sometimes it's gonna be me delivering pizza to the next door neighbor. It's more than just King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. And at those Tennessee shows, I met some incredible people that I never thought I would ever meet. I met people like Scott and I met people like Jack, who I would watch their YouTube videos for months beforehand. They recorded the Miami shows, they recorded the Atlanta show that I went to. And to meet them in person and to hand them a banana myself it felt so good. It felt so good to see them being appreciative of me. And I met people like Echo or Lane, who I would see their art on the Reddit, and Lane even threw his shirt up onto the stage at Atlanta, and I even bought that shirt from him later on. Like, those people, I never thought I would ever meet them, and they're telling me how much they appreciate me for handing them bananas. And it was so incredible to have this unity inside of the like community. And there was more people that I met there too, like Danny and Dave, who both said that they were gonna be at every single show, and they're pretty chill. They're not selling shirts and they're not recording the concerts, but they're there to have fun. And I met those people, and Dave even gave me this shirt for my birthday, which I absolutely love. This shirt's fantastic. Thank you so much. Check out his website. It's called gizhead.org. And someone like Danny, who the same age as me, doing every single concert, but he was doing it alone. And I got to meet him, who I think is going to be one of my best friends until the day I die, because I know after that tour, there's no way he's not going to do any of the other U.S. tours, so I'm going to be able to see him at every single show. And he's the one that really taught me how to really enjoy the shows. Get there really early in the morning, stand in the line so you could get the best seats possible. Not seats, really getting on the rail. And I appreciate him so much for that. And I appreciate everyone else that I met during the tour. I know I shouted out those 6 people, but every single other person that I met on the tour, thank you so much for just letting me be me. My whole entire life when I was in school, I was bullied a lot because whenever I get excited about things, I tend to start ramping up my voice and ramping up the intensity, and people get a little nervous by that, and they tell me to sit down and be quiet and to just stop doing that. And whenever I would do that around the people that I met in Tennessee and Chicago and Seattle and Denver and Hollywood, whenever I would do that stuff, they were so excited to hear what I had to say, and it felt like I was at home, being able to listen to or be able to speak my mind and have everyone agree with me and understand what I'm saying about how this is the best band in the world, and in 5 years you're gonna be on top of the world. And every single concert we would go to, we're talking about how it's going to be the best concert to ever be performed. And after the concert, we're sitting there on the rail talking about how it was the best concert to ever be performed. It was just so incredible to be around like-minded people like me. And I've never really felt that my entire life, and I'm so grateful that I was able to experience that, and I'm going to be able to continue to experience that, because there is no way I'm missing out on any of their shows. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to go to the ones overseas. One day I will be able to, hopefully, but there's just no way I'm going to be able to do it this year. And I just love this band. And these guys love the band too, and it's so fun. And after these concerts, my after the concerts depression came right back. I would say the second day after Hollywood Bowl, I woke up sad as I've ever been, just crying my eyes out. I couldn't even think about why I was sad. And I know why I'm sad now. It's because I have to return back to reality and go back to where I don't feel as welcome. I have to go back to a job that I don't enjoy doing, and I still have to show a smile on my face when I'm doing it, because that's what you have to do whenever you're in the customer service industry. But I I had so much expectations going back to home, where I was going to be able to talk to my family and my friends and my coworkers about how much I enjoyed this trip, and everyone's going to love to hear it. And whenever I came back home, those expectations were not really not, I don't know the word. I was too in my head. I came back, and none of my coworkers wanted to talk to me about it. They wanted to talk about their lives, and I slowly got more depressed, and I went back to how I felt before the tour. And I know this is a story about how King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard saved my life. So I have to tell you that after I felt those ways from the people that were closest to me back at home, I was able to go back in my car and turn up the music as loud as possible and just scream the lyrics and pump my fists at the same time, and able to get out of my funk every single time. Whenever I wake up depressed, all I have to do is turn on King Gizzard, and I have a smile on my face immediately. No matter how many times I try to go up to any of my friends and they tell me to be quiet or laugh at me for having my opinions about this stupid band, all I know is as soon as I stop talking to them and I go in my car and I turn on my music, I'm going to be just as happy as I was at those concerts. And I'm going to continue to be just as happy for the rest of my life, because I know whenever I do go back to these concerts, those people are going to be there. And whenever they see me, they're going to go, "Ben Bacon, it's so good to see you." And I'm going to tell them how much I love them. I'm going to hand them a banana, and everything's going to be all right. And that's pretty much the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Mwah, mwah. Thank you, Coulter, for coming with me for the time of my life and the time of your life too. I know on my birthday, Coulter, he pulled me aside, and we look back into the crowd, and he says to me, "Ben, I finally get it. I understand what you're trying to show me this entire time." And I was so appreciative of him to say that, because he realized it wasn't just what the band was playing. It was the entire environment around it. The people that were there loved the band and loved me just as much. And it was so incredible to be around like-minded people that all we wanted to do was have a good time together. And thank you so much, Coulter, for coming along with me. And thank you so much to every single person I met. And thank you so much to every single person that watched this video to this point. And I'm going to be continuing to make more King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard videos from here on out. So expect more on this channel. Thank you so much. Peace and love. See y'all later.